If you want better looking grass this year, then you better start thinking about this right now. Hey, my friends, welcome back to Budget Lawns. I appreciate you being here as always. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment, notification bell, go follow me on Instagram, budget.lawns, all that good stuff. So, the spring is quickly approaching, which means a new lawn care season. And I'm going to talk to you today about one thing that maybe you haven't put a lot of thought into, but is 100% sure to make your grass look way better than it ever has. The funny thing is this has nothing to do with grass. So in the last video, I'll leave a link about it down below. We talked about the best lawns on YouTube. Go to the comment section, tell me which one you think is the best lawn on YouTube if you haven't already, and think about those that are being mentioned. And I would be willing to bet that a lot of those that are being mentioned are doing a lot of what I'm about to discuss. So what am I talking about that you might not be putting much effort into? Well, that's your flower bed game. Yes, if you are not thinking about shrubs, plants, flowers, anything else besides your grass, then it is time to change that, because your flower bed goes so far in making your turf look so much better. Now, right now, with dormant grass and a flower bed that doesn't have much going on in it, it's hard for me to prove that point to you, but now's the time to start thinking about it. I am a perennial person myself. Everything in here is a perennial. So what does that mean to be a perennial? It means that it will kind of die off or scale back, not look so great during the cold winter months, but when it starts getting warm again, those things will just boom back to life. They'll start blooming again. They'll start growing like crazy, and I don't have to plant new stuff every single season. And I've got it really nice. I've got things kind of staggered. So I've got bloomers that bloom early in the spring, and some that bloom a little bit later in the spring and into the summer, and then some late summer. So I've got bloomers all season long. They're not all blooming all at once. Now, if you're not a perennial person and you like planting things with lots of vibrant, different colors, then you can always put some annuals in. And those annuals, you'll put those in. Then when the winter months come, they'll die, and then you'll have to replant your annuals the next season. But what does this color do for your grass? Well, one thing, the colors just look good. It's that simple, but they just provide a nice contrast to the green grass and give your lawn just this burst of color that makes it look even better, even if it's not just absolutely perfect grass. So one thing, it's kind of a distraction. Say your grass isn't in as good a shape as it usually is, you would like it to be much better. Well, take some of the attention off of it, you know? Give folks something else to look at, so you're not putting all your eggs in one basket on having the most beautiful, perfect grass at all times, because that's just unrealistic. So as you start thinking about what you want to put in your flower beds, what kind of plants, you really need to start thinking about two things. First, which cardinal direction do you face? So I face the north, okay? So I start thinking about, all right, what kind of sunlight do I get? Do I get any shade? Do I need full sun plants, full shade, kind of a mix of shade and sun? So start thinking about what direction you face and how much light they will get. I prefer the perennials that I've got here because facing the north in the summertime, I get a lot of overbearing sun here, a lot of heat. So everything that I've got is super tolerant to a lot of sunshine, direct sunshine, in very, very hot temperatures. And the nice thing about the ones I've got, they're very, very low maintenance. I don't have to worry so much about the water. I don't have to do a lot of pruning or deadheading or constant maintenance on them. I will deadhead a lot of the flowers after they kind of start dying off, just to encourage more blooming again, so I can keep more flowers coming as the season goes along. Some of my favorite ones that I've got lots of ground cover in there. Some folks aren't a fan of ground cover, but I like it because it's easy to just rip out. You can really do anything to it to control it. Gets real pretty blooms on it. My favorite one in the flower bed, or favorite two, I've got a lot of ajuga and a lot of sedum. Also the big shrubs and bushes, you know, you just can't go wrong with those because they just give you all sorts of different color and variation. Especially the one I like the most is the kaleidoscope abelia. The leaves on it will turn different colors throughout the season. All year long they change. Got some yews in there, some box plants, a rose bush, some cone flowers, some coreopsis, all sorts of good stuff. And we can get into more of that later on in the season when these things start to bloom and come back, and I can show you a little bit more about the plants, their growth patterns, and why I chose these in particular. But for now, you really do, folks, you really need to start thinking about more than just your grass, because I can promise it doesn't matter how good your grass looks. Yeah, it's going to grab people's attention, but really what grabs their attention is all the color, and the way you work the grass and the plants together is just really what the eye catcher is. And in my opinion, I spend and try to put just as much time and effort into the flower beds and plants and keeping those looking good with fresh mulch and everything that comes along with it as I do with my grass, because they kind of go together like peanut butter and jelly. You can't have one without the other. All right, that's all we've got. It is cold. It's like in the 20s out here today. My hands are frozen. So we're going to wrap it up right there. As always, thanks so much for being here. I really do appreciate you, and we will see you again real soon.